Thanks, Speaker. My question this morning is for the acting Premier. Speaker, the government's panel to write new rules for the electricity system is seriously compromised. We know from the auditor's report yesterday that no fewer than 5 members of the panel put together by the government either broke existing market rules or were under investigation while they were helping write the new rules for the electricity system. We know that only 2 members, including one of the co-chairs, was identified by name. 3 more companies who gamed the system for a combined $78 million remain unnamed. So, Speaker, how is it that 5 government insiders were able to game the system for hundreds of millions of dollars, and this government then rewards them by putting them in charge of writing new rules for the electricity system?
Thank you.
Minister of Economic Development and Growth.
Minister of Economic Development and Growth.
For the life of me, I don't know why the PCs always want to refer to PC insiders as Liberal insiders, because they continue to do that. The folks that they're referring to, frivolously referring to, actually donate over $100,000 to the PC party, Mr. Speaker. So that's they want to get political with this, so be it. Mr. Speaker, this panel is a very important panel. 2 members have resigned from the panel that were involved with some of the companies that were deemed to have been exploitive of the previous system, Mr. Speaker. The fact is, though, Mr. Speaker, a number of these costs are in dispute with these companies, and that's fair enough. So, Mr. Speaker, what's important is this panel's recommendations and the market renewal system that this panel is working on that's going to ensure that we have an even more efficient system, Mr. Speaker, put into place by 2019, which is the work that's being done to ensure that we continue to have not only a strong, reliable system, Mr. Speaker, but an affordable system as well.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Back to the Minister, Speaker. All we know from the auditor's report is that one of the 3 unnamed companies is a generator. It sounds like the minister knows who we're talking about, so why won't he share these names with us this morning? The company that filed $51 million in inappropriate expenses that ratepayers ended up paying for. This is a serious issue, Speaker. We know that these companies are fighting to keep some of the expenses they claimed, but we don't know who they are. We want to know who they are. Again, the minister knows who they are. We don't even know if they're still helping write the new rules or if there's another convenient resignation on the way, like we saw Friday.
President Treasury Board is warned. Were you finished?
No.
You have a wrap-up?
I do have a wrap-up. Thank you, Speaker. The ISO's website has been changed this week.
Answer.
So we no longer know who the current members are. So, Speaker, why is the government hiding its own incompetence if you know who they are? Minister, please tell us who they are.
Be seated, please. Be seated, please. Thank you. Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the 2 members have resigned from the panel that were part of companies that were indeed considered to have been exploitive of the system. The members of the panel are public knowledge, Mr. Speaker. So the member, it's all public knowledge. But there's an additional member that's been appointed to the panel, Mr. Speaker, and this comes out of the Auditor General's recommendations. We've now appointed a consumer advocate to the panel, Mr. Speaker, who's actually an energy affordability and energy low-income consumer advocate that will help ensure that that voice is also heard on this panel. So this is a strong panel with very good expertise on it, that's providing good advice. The Ontario Energy Board has indicated that the work that's being done by this panel has been very, very valuable. The PCs may not care about the work that goes into building a clean, reliable, affordable energy system, because they know nothing about that, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you.
But we do.
Final supplementary.
Speaker, I don't think the minister understands the seriousness of this issue. Hundreds of millions of dollars ended up on the bills of hydro customers in Ontario. This is the second Liberal gas plant scandal, Speaker. It's not just the second Liberal gas plant scandal, it's the second Liberal parkas scandal that we've seen in the last couple of months here at Queen's Park. Speaker, 4 ministers, including this one, and 2 premiers received no fewer than $10 warnings from the OEB since 2009 on this issue, and they did nothing about it. No one did anything. Two of the ministers are still in cabinet, including the one who's taking the questions this morning. He knew these companies were under investigation. If he didn't, he should have known, and somehow these same people that were gaming the system are writing the government's new rules on market renewal anyway. So, Speaker, will the government finally show some accountability, come clean, and tell us who these insiders are that are creating the new rules that they broke?
Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the PC insiders are public knowledge, Mr. Speaker. Their donations to the PC party.
The member from Nepean Carleton is warned. Finish, please.
The donations to the PC party of over, Mr. Speaker, $116,149, right on the website. Public knowledge, Mr. Speaker. I don't know why the member's too lazy to go to the website to get the names of the folks on that committee, because they're right there, Mr. Speaker. They're not hidden. And there's a new member that's just been appointed, Mr. Speaker, who's going to be a voice for those residents that this government has spoken to in many, many ways through our
The member from Lanark, Frontenac, Leamington, and Addington is warned. Finish, please.
Well, thank you, Mr. This new member of the panel, who will speak for people of low-income ratepayers across this province, speaks to the folks that we're given a voice to as government, Mr. Speaker, with our minimum wage policy, with our 25% off energy rates, and with our work in workplaces to ensure that they've got a voice.